Hey guys, so I'm back with another video today and I'm doing the 24 books I want to read in 2024, and these are all the books I have on my physical TBR that I definitely plan on getting to in the new year, so I'm super excited to show you guys these books. And since there's quite a few books, I'm gonna go ahead and get started. So the first book is Never by Jessa Hastings, and this is her Peter Pan retelling, and this book cover is just absolutely gorgeous. I don't know where they get the ideas for these covers, but all of Jessa Hastings' books have insanely gorgeous covers, and this one definitely doesn't disappoint. I love the colors in it. I've been really into pink lately, so this is definitely eye-catching to me, but I'm so excited to read this. I love Jessa Hastings' writing. Magnolia Parks is one of my favorite books, so definitely excited to get into this in 2024. So next is Grayson's Vow by Mia Sheridan. I believe this is a marriage of convenience romance, and Mia Sheridan is another author I really enjoy. I do love her romance books, and I am definitely excited to get into this one. So then I have Love and Other Words by Christina Lauren, and this is a very popular book. I know a lot of people have said that it is like Every Summer After, and I definitely like Christina Lauren's writing. After the Unhoneymooners, this has been on my list for a very long time, so I'm finally excited to read this book. Next is Night Shift by Annie Crown. This is another Wattpad book that has been published, and I absolutely love the cover of it, and I believe this is like a sports kind of romance, so I'm definitely intrigued to see how this goes. And of course, I feel like every video I mention, if it's attached to Wattpad, I'm probably going to enjoy it. So next I have Binding 13 by Chloe Walsh, and this is the Bloom Books edition. I did not know how long this book was going to be when I got it, but I'm super excited for it. Definitely very intrigued. I've seen a lot of good things about it. I know a lot of different other booktubers really enjoy this book, so I'm definitely excited to read this in the next year. Then there is Wildfire by Hannah Grace, and this is the second book in her little series, the first one being Icebreaker, and this follows the other characters that were in the Icebreaker, the friends, and it's like a little summer camp romance, and I'm super excited for this one. Icebreaker was one of my favorite books of 2023, so I'm intrigued to see if this will be a favorite book of 2024. Then there is Love Redesigned, and this is the first book in the Lakefront Billionaire series by Lauren Asher, and I really enjoy Lauren Asher's writing. I really enjoyed her Dirty Air series, so super excited about this one. I like billionaire romances, so this is bound to be a good one. So then there is Done and Dusted by Lila Sage. This one kind of blew up, and I was really intrigued, and I finally got a hold of it because I can never find it in my Barnes & Noble, and I finally found it recently. This is definitely on my TBR for next year, and the Western romances, I've been really getting into those. So there's this one. So then there is The Wall of Winnipeg and Me, and I'm super interested to see how this one is, because this is Mariana Zapata. It's another sports kind of centered romance, and I really did enjoy From Luke Off From Love. I do understand that these are slow burn romance books, so I'm interested to see how I really enjoy this, because I have not read one of her books in a very long time. And then I have The Simple Wild by K.A. Tucker. This is another one that I discovered through Book Talk, and I've had this on my shelf for so long, and I am finally deciding to get to it in 2024. So this is another one. And then I have X's and O's by Amy Leah. I bought this a while ago because it got popular and it was a book of the month, and I'm very curious to see how this book goes. And then I just feel like this is perfect because we're going into an election year. So I have The Boyfriend Candidate by Ashley Winstead, and once again, these covers just draw me in so much. This definitely, I knew it had to be on my 2024 TBR. So those are all the romance books that are on my 2024 TBR. So I'm going to move on to all the sci-fi and fantasy books that I have on it. So first off, we have Divergent by Veronica Roth. I read this a very long time ago. I think I read this when I was in the 6th grade, and so I'm very interested to see how it has held up. Recently watched the movies and they're very cringy, and so definitely want to reread this to see how I like it now. And then next I have Wool by Hugh Howey, and this is the first book in the Silo series. This is like a post-apocalyptic kind of dystopian novel, and they're living in like a silo, and that's like kind of their town. And I know it is a series. I wanted to read this before I watched the TV show. And then next I have Cinder. This is another book I've had for a very long time. I tried to read it when I was younger, but never finished it. So I'm definitely gonna try to do it now in my 20s, so I'm super excited about that. And then I have The Stranded by Sarah Daniels, and this is about a group of people who, like, when the world kind of like ended, they all started living on a cruise ship, and they've never been allowed to get off the cruise ship, and they sneak off. So I'm very interested about this. I have recently gotten into like post-apocalyptic stuff again. I was super into that growing up, and I've recently gotten into it again. So there's this one. And then I feel like this is more like kind of fancy. This is To Kill a Kingdom. This is a very popular book. I've had this on my shelf for like several years now, and I just have never gotten to it. And I feel like 2024 will be the year that I finally read this book. So very hopeful with that. And then next I have Fury Born by Claire Legrand, and this is the first book in the Imperium trilogy. This is a YA fantasy. Typically I'm not into YA fantasy, but I did like the plot when I read the summary on the back. So I'm interested to see if I will enjoy this, because YA lately I've just been having such a hard time getting into young adult novels. So this will be an interesting one for me. And then the last kind of like fantasy book I have is The Atlas 6 by Olivia Blake. I don't know why I've been holding off on this one. Maybe it's because I've been waiting to have the whole like trilogy, and the third book is finally coming out. So hopefully when I get the third book, I will read all of the books in this series and get to see what everyone has been saying, because I know a lot of people love this book, but I just don't know the hype because I haven't read it yet, and I just really want to understand the hype of this book. So lastly, I have a couple like literary fiction, general fiction books. So the first one I have is The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I feel like everyone has been obsessed with this book for years. I bought it for my mom. She read it, she enjoyed it, and I've just had this on my shelf because I have also been wanting to read it, but I haven't gotten to it yet. I like her other books like Malibu Rising and Daisy Jones and the Six, so I'm very curious to see if this one will stand up with the others. And then this one, I don't know why I wanted to read this so much. I don't know. I love Christian Bale and Reese Witherspoon's in the movie, and I don't want to watch the movie until I read it, but I have American Psycho by Bret Easton Ellis, and I know this is like kind of on the like side of horror because he's like insane, and his character is like insane, but I'm very curious to see what the like actual plot is, because I don't really understand what the whole story is, but this is one that I've been wanting to read for a while. And then the fact that I have not read this is so shameful, but Verity by Colleen Hoover. I have yet to read this. I'm just worried that there's so much hype around this book, and I'm worried that if I read it and I don't like it, I'm gonna feel weird about it. Because I have a problem when there's like super hyped books. I'm always scared that I'm not gonna like it as much as everyone else. And then I have Little Fires Everywhere by Celeste Ng. And I've seen the show, and my mom actually read this and said the show and the book are completely different. And so I want to see what the differences are. And I really did enjoy the show, so I'm curious to see what's different between the book and the TV show. And then last but not least, we have The Club by Ellery Lloyd. And this is a Reese Witherspoon book club book, and I found it in the bargain section, and I've been wanting to read this for a while but have never gotten to it. So this is another one that is definitely on my list. So those are the 24 books that I want to read in 2024, my yearly little TBR. So I'm super excited about the next year. I already have my book goal set, and I'm super excited for it. But yeah, those are the books that I definitely plan on reading in 2024. And if you've read them, let me know. And until next time, see you guys.